Hey everyone, it's Savannah and welcome back to my day old tea. Today I am working on my Kid Core school themed island lunchbox. Today we are going to be working in the upper left corner of the island, and I'm going to be placing both my museum and campsite in this area. And the concept behind this build is that this is going to be a field trip destination for the students on this island, and it will only be accessible through a warp pipe. The warp pipe isn't an item that I typically use in my Animal Crossing islands, especially when designing. I feel like I only used to use the pipe to get to and from my house quickly, but since the 2.0 update with the storage sheds, I feel like we're not really using the Mario pipes. So I felt like this was kind of an ambitious build for me. I've never based a design around using the warp pipe, so I'm excited to see how this is all going to turn out. I haven't decided quite what I want to do with the other warp pipe as far as how you'll actually be able to access this area. I'm thinking maybe I'll connect it onto a little school bus build, so it's like you're going on the school bus to get to the field trip area. I haven't totally decided. If you have a really cute idea for a build for how to get on the field trip, please let me know. But anyway, I'm here just kind of like setting up a sidewalk area leading up to my museum. And I'm taking some inspiration from real life here, and I'm gonna make kind of like a little dig area in front of the museum. And I feel like this is something I've seen on field trips where they can be interactive for the students, and maybe they'll have an area where you can mine through some dirt and find crystals. So I'm thinking like along those lines of like something interactive for the students to come and do would be like digging up some fossils. So that's the concept for the little builds I'm outlining with the dirt paths on the side of the sidewalk. A little dig spot is just really cute in front of any museum, and it's a way to use those fossil items. And I want this to be like a very grand symmetrical build for my museum because I really think symmetry suits the museum very well. Here I'm just adding some realistic details to the path and also extending this out further along in front of the museum because I decided I wanted to add some bistro tables and a little bit of a sitting area, kind of cafe vibe in front of the museum, somewhere where the students would be like hanging out, eating their lunch. So as you saw, I ended up burying a couple of fossils so I would get those nice little dig spots in my desired locations, and I ended up terraforming a bit of the cliff next to it because I also want to fit my campsite into this build. So you're gonna see me kind of jump around as I'm decorating because that's just how I do things. So I set up a little vine ladder on the cliff, which is how you'll get up and down from the campsite area. And then I'm throwing in some bistro tables and adding some extra color with the garden chairs. I use these all over on this island. I love them. At this point, I'm starting to terraform up on the third cliff. This is going to frame behind the campsite area. And then here I'm going back into the second layer of cliff, adding in my pipe, and I'm going to hide the pipe using some greenery, trees, flowers, shrubs, things like that. So it'll be kind of like seamlessly blending into the build. It won't be like a big ugly Mario warp pipe. It'll look cute in our build. So I'm just building up more of the cliff here, shaping it to however I desire, and then I'm going to begin filling in the area. Something I want to mention as you're seeing me terraforming this area, I'm wanting to make it so that you're kind of trapped in this area when you spawn via the warp pipe, and I also want to make sure that you couldn't just like accidentally wander over here. I want it to be very intentional with the use of the warp pipe, so I'm keeping that in mind as I'm doing my waterscaping. And also, once the build is kind of completed, I'll go in and add some shrubs, fences, items, so you won't be able to hop across this water feature. Once I've placed my campsite on that second level, I'm going to begin adding in some more details with codes all across these dirt paths. I've been doing this technique throughout the rest of my island, using them for little stepping stones and also decorating little playgrounds in this similar way. So I feel like this fits in with the rest of the island. You'll also see me mixing in some weeds throughout this area, and then I also thought that the fossils dropped here were really cute as well. All right, I'm going back in with my pathing tool and going over some of the sidewalk stones to make them look a bit more worn in, and adding some more character with the little decals. I kept the campsite area pretty simple on this island because I kind of want the main focus to be the museum, of course, but I'm loving these multicolored plank paths I'm using throughout this island. And as you can see, I'm just popping in that coconut tree, and that's gonna help hide our warp pipe. So now comes one of my favorite parts of the build, slash one of the most tedious parts of the build, because I find myself running all over my island to gather lots and lots of flowers. But as you can see, I'm beginning to fill up the build, and this is where I really see the area come to life. I love mixing in lots of different color flowers on this island. It's been so fun with KidCore. I'm mixing in lots of little bushes throughout this area as well. Also remembering to drop weeds and little codes throughout the area to really fill up the area and give it a lot of personality. I decided I wanted to spruce up the entrance of the museum and just make it a bit cuter, so I'm adding in the plain party lights arch, because any chance that I can use this item, I'm using this item. Another big design theme throughout this island is lots of clutter on the ground. So here I'm mixing in scattered papers, the leaf piles, skateboards. The rest of my island is a bit of a KidCore school theme. So mixing in toys, dropped items really makes this island feel more realistic. I'm also adding in the candy machine, which I think is just a cute touch, and I wanted to kind of round off the fence in the front, if that makes sense, just so it wasn't like that harsh start of a fence. I kind of like to block the edges of my fence. I'm going back to the campsite area and working on filling up the right side of the campsite. How cute are those little animal cracker codes on the ground? I need to put these in other areas of my island. I totally forgot to until I saw them in my code slots, and I was like, wait, have I even used these yet? I need to. All right, guys, it's that point. We're trying out the warp pipe, and here is how the completed area looks. So much color, so much movement. What do you guys think of this area? Once again, the campsite I kept pretty simple, just kind of like a little snack area. And then we'll move along down into the museum area and check out the rest of the space. So this is my completed little field trip build. It is so fun. I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's pretty much everything I imagined it would be. So that's always a good feeling when you finish a build. I hope this is able to provide you with some inspiration, whether it be a new way to use warp pipes on your island, or if you're just looking for some inspiration for a kid core, or even just how to decorate your museum. I think any island theme could work for making like a cute little dig spot. I think an abandoned, really kind of overgrown island would look amazing with a build like this. And obviously just swap out the items and colors to suit your island's needs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for future posts from me. And I hope you guys enjoy seeing some more clips of the rest of this build. And I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!